Welcome back, everyone. My name is Dr. Tawana Houston, also known as Dr. T, and today we're continuing our exploration of racial toxicity by exploring its profound impact on both mental and physical health on a group that is absolutely vital to our communities, and that is our African American educators and school leaders. In the last video, I discussed some examples of the term introducing racial toxicity. And today, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how racial toxicity affects our well being and why it's crucial that we address it head on, specifically for those working in the field of education. If you're a teacher, principal, administrator, or anyone involved in education, the challenges of racial toxicity may be all too familiar. Today, we'll talk about how these stressors impact your well being and ultimately the students and the communities that you serve. Let's start by acknowledging the incredible responsibility that educators and school leaders carry. Not only are you shaping the minds of the next generation, but you're also navigating an environment that is often fraught with systemic challenges and racial biases. Racial toxicity in schools can take on many forms, from subtle microaggressions in staff rooms to more overt discriminatory policies and practices. These stressors, they definitely add an extra layer of burden to an already demanding job. The pressure to perform at a higher standard, to constantly prove your competence, and to manage the emotional labor of addressing race related issues. It takes a significant mental toll that can lead to physical health consequences. Chronic stress is one of the most insidious effects of racial toxicity. This stress isn't just in your mind, it's deeply connected to your body as well. When your body is under constant stress, it's in a state of fight or flight. And it leads to just this increased level of cortisol, which is a stress hormone that acts as this chemical messenger. It's signaling your body to respond in a certain kind of way as if it's in a state of emergency to survive. And so over time, this can have serious health implications. Things like anxiety, depression, even cognitive decline. And so imagine carrying this weight around day in and day out. It is downright exhausting. And it's something that many African Americans experience as a result of racial toxicity. And so educators, they often find themselves on the front lines dealing with the impact of racial toxicity, not only for themselves, but also for the students that they are there to serve. And so the mental health challenge that results is very significant. Burnout is a major issue, y'all. Many educators, especially those from marginalized backgrounds, report feeling emotionally exhausted from constantly battling these types of stressors. But the impact isn't just mental. The physical consequences of racial toxicity are just as alarming. The chronic stress caused by racial toxicity, it can lead to high blood pressure, headaches, and persistent fatigue. This fight or flight mode is the parasympathetic nervous system is in a dominant state, which means that it is causing your heart rate to elevate and to pump a whole lot faster, and more glucose is being released out into the bloodstream. And your parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the rest and repair, it is not balancing out the internal conditions because you're in fight or flight mode. And so during this perceived emergency, your food is not digesting, your tissues are not healing, your cells are not repairing, and your energy is not being restored. And educators, they often push through these stress-induced symptoms that are provoked by racial toxicity because they're driven by a commitment to their students and to their communities. And I'm sorry to tell y'all, but that can come at a high cost. Over time, this stress can lead to just more serious health issues such as heart disease, immune system problems, and other chronic conditions. And studies have shown that African Americans are more likely to suffer from hypertension and heart disease conditions directly linked to prolonged chronic stress. And then there's sleep, or should I say the lack thereof. Sleep disturbances are common among those experiencing high levels of stress. And without proper rest, our bodies cannot repair or recharge. When we see our phones getting down to 6% and 4% and all that, we running around trying to find a charger. We'll ask everyone we can if they have a charger, if we don't have our own, so that we can get that juice back and keep our phones charged up so that they could be operable. But what about when our bodies get down to 2%? We override it and we keep going. We get some coffee, we get some caffeine, and we keep making it happen. But what I'm here to tell you is this opens the door to a host of other chronic issues, from diabetes to dementia and to so many other health conditions. And for many educators, the toll of racial toxicity, it can be a hidden burden, one that's rarely acknowledged, but deeply felt. I'm here to tell y'all. And the thing is, it is not just affecting you. It's affecting the quality of education and support that students are able to receive from you. Let's just be honest. Let's just keep it real. There is a big difference between what you are capable of giving to your students and your staff members when you feel healthy and well and energetic and you're thriving, versus what you're capable of giving when you show up to work depleted and in pain. To understand how deeply racial toxicity is intertwined with our health, we need to look at how it plays out in our daily lives. Whether it's microaggressions, systemic discrimination, and social exclusion, these are not just minor annoyances. They accumulate over time, and it leads to chronic stressors. For educators, this could look like feeling isolated from being one of the few or perhaps the only African American educator or administrator in your school or district. Or perhaps you have a sense of being undervalued and unsupported at your school. This compounds the effects of racial toxicity, leading to emotional and psychological strain. This in turn, it just sets off a chain reaction in our bodies, affecting everything from heart health to immune function. And unfortunately, this is the reality for many African Americans who live under the shadow of racial toxicity and are now managing one or many chronic disease conditions that are more prevalent within the Black community. And in this video, I really do hope that I have demonstrated how racial toxicity is a major factor to this higher disease prevalence that is within the Black community. And so, as I conclude this video, I want to acknowledge again just the incredible work that educators and school leaders are doing in the face of just tremendous challenges from all sides. And racial toxicity, it is a heavy burden to bear, but it's one that we can address together. Black Cell Consulting is here to help you mitigate these health challenges. In the next video, I'll be discussing practical strategies for you to protect your well-being so that you can continue to make a positive impact in the schools and the communities that you serve. Thank you for being a part of this important conversation, and I invite you to engage with Black Cell Consulting Services. Subscribe, like, share the video, and share your experiences in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you again. I'm Dr. Tawana Houston, also known as Dr. T.